and welcome to Regenerative Mead Questions and Answers. I'm Frank Golbeck, this is Golden Coast Mead, and today we're going to talk about 3 questions. Basic mead question, what do you pair your mead with? Advanced mead question, how do you make quality regenerative mead? Deeper dive. And third question, regenerative business, who's Carol Sanford and what's her background? So stay tuned, we're stoked to be here with you. Cheers. All right, question number 1, what do you pair regenerative delicious mead with? Well, to answer that question, we like to use Chrissy Zarapour's landmark book, The Art of Mead Tasting and Food Pairing, to answer that question. We reduce it down to 2 main approaches, complement and balance, or match and amplify. These 2 approaches will help you find a good pairing for your mead 99% of the time. Complement and balance means finding the key flavor notes of a mead and then figuring out what foods will work with them to complement and balance those notes. So for instance, if I have a rich floral mead like our Wildflower Dry, then I might want something bright and citrusy to complement that floral sweetness and a tartness that will cut through the richness, like citrus-drenched fish tacos or a citrus salad with lots of lemon juice in the dressing. If I'm going to match and amplify, I take the best notes of the mead and find the pieces that I want to bring out more. So maybe we have our tart wildflower sour, and I'm thinking about honey and tart notes that come out in this mead. I'll match and amplify those honey and tart notes with a tart goat cheese covered with honey on crackers, while also complementing the acidity with the creaminess of the cheese. Hopefully, using these 2 methods, match and amplify and complement and balance, you're going to find pairings for your meads that are going to light up people's lives. So, how do you make quality regenerative mead? Well, we're going to dive in deeper this time. Last week, we went over the broad overview. This time, we're going to get a little bit into the weeds. If you're interested in learning how to make quality regenerative mead, this is going to be a very valuable roadmap for you as you go on your mead making journey. So, over 11 years and 11,000 hours plus of professional mead making, it can be boiled down to quality regenerative honey, clean, tasty water, and a healthy fermentation. That's what it takes to make quality regenerative mead. Now, there's a lot of details to what all of that means, and if you have specific questions, we're here to answer them in these weekly videos. But for the basics, you take about 1 part honey to 4 parts water. Clean and sanitize your equipment, mix the honey and water to totally dissolve the honey, and then you manage your fermentation to create an optimal outcome with the yeast. Because in reality, the yeast are the mead makers. That means giving them their optimal temperature, nutrition in the form of rehydration nutrients, if you're starting with a dry yeast, and broad spectrum organic nutrients during fermentation. Then you do some degassing and aeration the first few days of fermentation, observing strict sanitization and cleanliness throughout. When your fermentation is bubbling away, after the 3rd degas and aeration and nutrient addition, you close it up and let it happen. Checking it daily for fermentation kinetics, vigor with a Brix check or gravity reading. And every other day or so for yeast health and viability via cell counts. That uses a microscope and a hemocytometer, which is pretty advanced. We'll keep it a little more high level. When fermentation is slowing down, you can do pump overs or positive temperature changes to keep things moving if necessary, though you want to be careful when employing those techniques because there's trade-offs regarding flavor and other considerations when using pump overs and temperature manipulation. You can also use temp drops to slow things down, but hopefully your yeast terminates right at your target final sugar and alcohol level. We like to let things terminate naturally, though for various important reasons, we have to sometimes pay close attention and pull those levers if we need to. We can cold crash and clarify with mineral clearing agents and filter if it's not one of our sours. We'll condition our meads for a few days before bottling, and voila, mead. Quality, delightful mead. And we do organoleptic quality assurance and quality control throughout in order to draw samples and make sure that there are no off flavors being produced in the fermentation. If they are, we figure out where they are coming from and intervene appropriately, because an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure or gallons of waste. So, regenerative business. Who is Carol Sanford, this lady who wrote the book on regenerative business that we use here at Golden Coast Mead? Well, Carol founded the Carol Sanford Institute and has spent her lifetime practicing, defining, and educating about regenerative business and life. She's taught many of the leaders in the regenerative ag and business space, including many of the folks at Genesis International and RegenCoin. She graduated from UC Berkeley and studied with Buckminster Fuller and Joseph Campbell and many other luminaries, including her elders from her indigenous lineage. She practiced business in South Africa during apartheid, devising programs to work for the local population and the business she was a part of, Crest, continuously unfolding both of the entities' essences. The South African population's essence was community. Crest's essence was oral health. Combining the two, she and her team developed a program where unemployed mothers were able to sell toothpaste, capfuls of toothpaste, to their neighbors for affordable rates, growing Crest's business in the area 40% a quarter, while other companies were leaving the country. Suffice it to say, Carol has deep knowledge of what regeneration is, and as she likes to put it, regeneration is increasing an entity's capacity to express its essence. Thank you for joining us for this week's Mead Questions and Answers. We're stoked to share the magic of modern, quality, regenerative mead with you. We hope it lights up your lives, regenerates the earth, and creates a shareable abundance for everyone.